Hello everyone, welcome back to the session. Let's dive into. Today we are going to discuss a new topic. In this session we are going to see how to create a Docker file, and in Docker file how to pull the image, and we are going to install the softwares in it, and let's see whether we are able to launch the containers of it, and whether we are able to access the website using the IP address or not. That we are going to do. These are the tasks that we are going to perform. I'll give these tasks in the description, yeah, and alongside with the commands as well. You can go through it. So without any ado, we will dive into the topic. So I have already installed the Docker in my local machine, and let's try to create a Docker file now. The Docker file is something where we are going to launch the images using the Docker file. So instead of running the commands manually, if we write the Docker file and if we build the image from it, it will automatically build from that particular image. So for to create a Docker file, always the Docker file name should be Docker file only. It cannot be given other names like text or something. It should be Docker file without any extension. So for that, let me clear the space. So I have cleared the space, and we are going to create Docker file. Docker file. The name should be Docker file only. It shouldn't be other. So I have created the Docker file. In the Docker file, from which image? Sorry, from which image? Ubuntu image. I am using Ubuntu image. If we don't provide any version, it will take latest version only as a tag. From Docker image, from Ubuntu, we are going to run update the container, update apt update. Now what we are going to do, we are going to install the Apache 2 service. Apt install, sorry, should be small. Apt install Apache 2. If you are installing a package, in between it will ask whether it needs to install the packages or not. For that I am predefining yes here. Why? And yeah, it's done. And now what we need to do, we need to provide entry point. Entry point, there are two specific arguments are there. Entry point will give strict arguments to the Docker file, what softwares or what services need to be started after launching the image. If we use command argument, it will, like, it has only sleek level of command over the Docker file. We can modify later by passing it as an argument. If it is an entry point, it has a strict rule to provide that command and run that command when we launch the image. So I am going to use entry point only now. So entry point, what we need to do, we need to start Apache CTL. Apache, this is an Apache service where I am going, I want to do it on foreground. 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 I hope no typos are there. Now what I am going to do is I am going to save the file. I already saved it. So let's cat the Docker file. Let's see whether all the lines are appear fine or not. So from Ubuntu image, we are going to use the Ubuntu image. In that, once the image has been downloaded, we are going to update the image, and we are going to install Apache, and we are going to provide an entry point, and we are going to start the service. This is the command to start the service. Yeah, let me build Docker. Command to launch the container from Docker file is build, build hyphen t tag. Which tag we are providing? It's like a image name. my image, let's say my image from which directory is, since it is in current directory only, I am going dot represents current directory. Oh, sorry, sudo, I forgot to mention sudo docker build -t my image from which directory. It started building the image. It's step. So here it already installed. It is running that update command. Here you can see 2 by 3 run apt update. Once it is updated, it will see here it is installing Apache 2 service. Apache 2 service. It is getting installed. Once it is installed, we need to launch the container and we can access the Apache 2 service without any manual intervention. The main purpose of Dockerfile is to avoid manual intervention. Everything will be automated only. No need to run the commands one after another, or no need to enter into the container. So the image has been downloaded. Let us check sudo docker images has been downloaded. Now I'm going to launch the container out of this image. Sudo docker execute -it. No, sorry, I'm not going to run -dit. I'm going to use port number 80 only. Port number 80. I am going to give a name as can't be from the image ID. Oh, sorry. Cool. So the container has been created. What we're going to do is we are going to see whether this is been working or not. So it's working. So we have pasted the public IP in the browser. We could see the Apache 2 is accessible. Means without logging into the container, we are able to access the um, service using that particular IP address. That is the use case of Dockerfile. I hope you have learned something from this session. Please do like and subscribe the channel. In case of any doubts, please do comment in the comment box. I am free to address the questions and doubts. Thank you. That's all for the video, guys.